Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well and welcome to a new video here about Daisy Ridley's return to a galaxy far, far away for the Star Wars New Jedi Order movie that was officially confirmed and announced last year at Star Wars Celebration. We've got some more and new interesting details to look forward to with this upcoming project. Of course, we're going to go ahead, we're going to hop right on into it, break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. In this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from comicbook.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall garnering source. Daisy Ridley first has played Rey Skywalker in Star Wars The Force Awakens back in 2015 and has returned to the role in Star Wars The Last Jedi and then also in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. It seemed that the star was finished with the franchise until fans were surprised by the announcement that she would be getting her own solo film technically. The news came during last year's Star Wars Celebration of 2023, and it was revealed that the project would be directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who's teased the movie will be something very special. Since the movie was announced, Daisy Ridley has provided various teases throughout. In a new interview with Empire magazine this time around, Ridley had revealed how she decided to return to a galaxy far, far away, because it was something of amongst many of the sequel actors and stars that they weren't very necessarily keen on wanting to return to a galaxy far, far away after the sequel trilogy. It was a difficult decision, Ridley had explained. She goes on further by saying that, "I didn't say yes right away, of course, to Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm's president. It was like, take as long as you need." It was actually really funny. On the way there to meet Kathleen Kennedy, I was on my phone, and to my best friend, he goes, "Oh my goodness, Daisy, imagine if they're doing a Rey TV show on Disney Plus." And I was like, nah, we're literally just going for breakfast. And then I called him and I was like, you will never guess that what. A bit funny there of how he kind of predicted that, like, that's kind of what she was going to meet Kathleen Kennedy for on that day a couple of years ago now, about a year and a half ago now, for the Rey Skywalker movie. Not necessarily a TV show, but of course, nonetheless, the point being a Rey-centric project. "Why wouldn't I do it?" she had added. "Yes, they have been very decisive before, but also they bring a lot of love and joy to a lot of people. It feels pretty amazing to be able to continue a character. Like, can I even remember how to play her?" It was an interesting challenge as an actor to come back to something and try to figure out what's changed for me and what's changed for her as a character of Rey Skywalker as well. Ending that quote right there. So taking a moment, taking a step back here, as I had mentioned, amongst many of the sequel trilogy actors and stars, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Adam Driver, it just was something that remained up in the air after the sequel trilogy, that they weren't very necessarily keen on wanting to return to a galaxy far, far away. Daisy Ridley also kind of mixed into that category, much of that from the reception from the fans of their characters, to say the least here, and not just that, but they also had their own gripes, quite honestly, and quite personally, with Lucasfilm and how they handled those movies with the overall storytelling, and how it was just very made up on the way and on the go kind of scenario is something that a lot of them didn't necessarily like or enjoy, especially when comparing them to the other Star Wars movies, the prequels and the original trilogy, even the spin-offs like Rogue One and Solo. And also looking at, when you look at many of the newer Disney Plus shows, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Mandoverse, especially the Mandoverse, there's much of a prime understanding that there's very much a plan and groundwork going on between all of those different interconnective shows. So seeing that, they in a way got jealous of that, to say the least. Like, why didn't they plan out our stuff like that and give it that much thought and that much detail necessarily, is something that they had quite a gripe with. And also for the fact that fan reception wasn't always the best. There was a lot of hate that went around to these actors, and I always preach this: if you don't like something, you can walk away from it. You don't have to waste your time on it. You don't have to go cry about it, really, I think is what it is at the end of the day. And for another of that, well, if you don't like something, if you don't like a character, hate the character, not the actor. It's all fictional at the end of the day. It's not real, believe it or not. It's simply there for our enjoyment and for our entertainment. If it isn't enjoying to you, and if it isn't entertaining you necessarily, you can, once again, as I mentioned, walk away from it. Now, Daisy, in that previous quote right there, also mentions of, do I even remember how to play this character? And also how it was an interesting challenge as an actor to come back to something, trying to figure out what's changed for her as an actor, for one thing, I think is one thing, and then what's changed for the character, what's changed for Rey Skywalker, because especially seeing that this project is being set 15 years after the events of the sequel trilogy, or more or less specifically after the events of the Rise of Skywalker, what's changed for Rey, what's new in her life, and what's different in her life. I think at that point in time, that's something that does kind of fall more or less into the script of by which she did recently reveal that she'll have the opportunity to actually read a quote-unquote final version of the script a little bit later this month, especially as they are ramping up for the pre-production process, as they want to begin filming and production a little bit later this year. Many of our sources are saying that they're starting production and filming for the new Jedi Order movie this summer, specifically in June of this year, for a 2026 release in December. Same thing for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Both of those projects are going to be kind of working alongside one another and actually filming alongside one another. Daisy really continues on by saying that, I honestly have no idea, she had added when asked about her hopes for Rey's arc in this new project. I know that the story beats, but other than that, I'm not sure what's going to be, but I'm reading a script next month. I'm curious about it all, she says. Coming in a bit more eyes wide open, I suppose I feel more like I'm owning it, Ridley had continued. I supposed I owned it the first time, but basically I feel more of an adult now. I certainly did not feel like an adult at the time. Obviously, personally, things have changed, but professionally, I've also had lots of other experiences, and so I definitely feel like it's a different thing for me this time around. There's just a lot of joy with me and these films. Honestly, if I wasn't excited, I wouldn't have done it. It feels like a great thing to be a part of. Ending that quote right there. A lot of people will point fingers and say, oh, she's back for the bag, she's back for the money, of course, and I have to disagree with that. I mean, Daisy's made just fine with herself, working on a lot of other projects and a lot of other movies, TV shows, since The Rise of Skywalker. She's had work. I mean, maybe not directly after the sequel trilogy, she has, revealed that before, but especially in the last couple of years, she's really done quite well for herself, and I think that's a big reason as to why we're getting so many new details and so many new teases about the Rey Skywalker movie, is because she's in so many interviews for other projects, other movies that she's working on, and just out of natural kind of curiosity, she's also gone ahead and been asked about the upcoming Rey Skywalker movie, because at the end of the day, I think that she'll always be viewed as Rey Skywalker. This all being said, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.